Hello and welcome back, Heir of Carthage here, and yes, we are in Total War Rome 2. We're going to get some more action here in the Seleucid campaign, where we've been re-establishing Alexander's legacy. And it was going really well in the last episode. We just ran out of time, and we were left needing to get this slaughter on the water started here. However, we're going to go fight the Cimmerians. The Cimmerians have a decent number of troops present. Blockading, they can still run away from me on land, obviously, because we don't have anything surrounding them on land. So I think I'm going to go ahead and fight this. I'll use my artillery ships to kind of pepper them, try and make a landing zone to get my Royal Peltas to shore. If I look at what we're up against, some Scythian hoplites, tribesmen, some slinger units, so we'll definitely need the support of our archers. They do have a small fleet. I somehow doubt they'll challenge me on the water. I hope they don't, because that can be risky sometimes, depending on how the AI manages to get lucky. They're better at like forcing through ram orders and boarding orders and stuff like that, because AI can control a ton of stuff at once. In the last episode, I had you all talking about what you thought of CA's marketing campaigns, the way they do it, and I'll get to some of those comments because, again, I was looking for feedback. The campaign kind of irritates me, but I know that I'm not everyone, and so I wanted to see what people thought. But if you want to get down and support in the comments today and participate, then what would be good is if you can go down there and tell me what DLC do you think this game was missing? What was a DLC that you thought we should get in Total War Rome 2, but that we did not get? So let me know what you think. I'll give you my thoughts. First off, I think it should have been an Alexander expansion. We essentially got Barbarian Invasion for Total War Rome 2, right? It was called Total War Attila. So you essentially got the Barbarian Invasion. I felt like we were missing that Alexander component that we got in Rome 1, and the Alexander thing may be a bit of a lesser known. We not disembark? Okay, we can, but it's further over here. Go ahead and start the disembarking process. I wanted to pick somewhere safe to disembark. The enemy fleet is turning tail for the most part, and I'm going to let them do so. I'm going to move my artillery ships this way, though, because I'd like to use my artillery ships as support. Anyway, yeah, so I feel like the Alexander expansion would have, having its own Rome 2 version would have been really cool, and that's what I would have liked to have seen. But in any case, you all get down there and let me know yours, and I will get to some of your comments on the marketing campaign. In fact, Simon Martin was first here. He says, I can't comment on the marketing, so he has no comment on it, but his comment was first, which we're going to get to. He says, the wall defenses, however, by manually using the large ballista with flaming rocks, I can normally destroy all their ladders, which is great fun, especially if you have archers with flame arrows. Yeah, you can use that siege equipment to good effect against ladders and siege towers at times. I didn't mess with it too much in that last battle, but you are correct. You can get some damage with it. And then Tommy Salty, thanks for being a channel supporter. He's got that silver shield there. He says, Thorax Swordsman, they quote themselves as Royal Thorax Swordsman, and then he's quoting me. He says, you're not Royal Thorax Swordsman, and then the Thorax Swordsman, made me laugh. Yeah, they give themselves promotions sometimes, and I guess that's cool. That's okay. They can do that. Yeah, the Thorax Swords tend to give themselves promotion to Royal Thorax Swords, which isn't a unit I'm aware of, but I guess would maybe be akin to, like, Silver Shields. At least I don't think it's a unit that we actually have. Is this ship gonna attack me?
Move out.
I don't know what that ship's gonna do. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna let these other ships get out of the way. We've landed our Royal Peltist, and I'm going to land my archers. We'll want to be careful with our units here. We really don't want to lose a whole unit, as re-recruiting the fleet would be honestly a bit irritating. Is this ship? Slingers. We score a couple lucky hits. It should be fine. I've got the Onager ships. I want to say that the Ballista ships would have been a little better. And the Onager ships are pretty short range, fairly inaccurate, just like most other naval artillery ships. I'm going to back up. I don't want those slingers shooting me. They may be coming over here to disembark in the same area where I'm disembarking, because they Well, they weren't on a direct attack for me, but now they are. So as much as I don't like the risk of this, I'm going to have to go into ram mode.
Ready yourselves! Orders! Firepower ready!
Ooh, scored a good hit right there. Kind of a point-blank shot.
Ready and awaiting orders.
Should get a good ram in. Oh, sweet. Single hit kill. Alright, that was a fortunate circumstance for us. We now control the sea, and all my archers are completing the landing process here. It's never, like, it's always a little bit buggy to do this, but it is kind of a cool process to be able to land troops. But yeah, it always has been a little bit of a buggy mess. We've got 5 Persian light archer units, one of which is a smaller mercenary unit. And let's get artillery ships wheeled up. They're moving out to meet me. Did not expect this. Well, I guess I'm gonna sail back over here. Ships just can't get the right orders from me, apparently. I mean, Royal Peltasts underperform a bit in terms of their defense, but their attack is quite good. And we should be fine, like, with the units we're coming up against. There's no elite hoplites. Steppe horse archers, huh? We have good archer support. Obviously, we don't have cavalry because it's a naval battle, but I've also got some artillery support incoming. Won't make a huge difference, probably, but we will have it nonetheless. Is that horse archer going to try and get arrows into my fleet?
Royal Peltasts.
What are these units doing? Everybody's fresh. Let's move forward.
Quick march.
I'm going to take all of my Royal Peltasts out of formation attack. I'm going to put all my archers into guard mode. I have to get up pretty close. It looks like they're kind of, yeah, holed up on this outskirts of town here. That's fine. I'm going to try and get a hold of their javelin-toting units. Looks like Chimeria has some steppe units. I don't remember what all was native to Chimeria's roster. I haven't played them in a long time. Haven't played against them in a long time, and I haven't looked at their roster in a long time, so kind of threefold there. Move these Persian light archers into range. They have those horse archers up there. I guess my artillery ships, maybe like right here. I don't even know if they'll be in range, but I'll attempt to have them in range. Waiting for those horse archers to come harass me. I expect them to do so. Steppe horse archers actually do pretty good missile damage, if I remember right. And some of those horse archers have heavy shot as well, which is, again, pretty effective. I'm gonna start lobbing some flaming rounds at their general. There is no defensive stance for fleet, unfortunately, but that's gonna get them moving. I don't expect a lot of damage from my artillery. Alright, let's get these Persian archers, and we're gonna pick up these javelin men.
Our general is under attack.
I'm gonna pick up these Persian, or the horse archers over there, then we got some more slingers here. My artillery ships are already kind of like glitching out and moving forward, even though it's the same thing with my archers here. Actually, I don't want to move that. Archer, you come back. So I want my Royal Peltasts to stand still and discharge their javelins. It's gonna make them more effective. I do want to get counter charges, though. Spread out a little wider. I don't want to get blobbed.
The battle is turning in our favor.
I would hope so. Slingers. Let's kill the javelin men. The javelin men are the more immediate threat. Alright, let's take our archers. I'm gonna scoot up. These slingers are gonna be really feeding it to us. infantry fight is going just fine. Like, we've got no worries in the infantry fight. Even with their tendency to underperform a little. Hoplites. I'm going to start chucking javelins into the slingers, start reducing their numbers. It's going to be my general. Let's throw him into that battle. Let's turn these Royal Peltasts here. Used our ammunition here. Okay. I don't like turning my backs to the slingers per se, but I've got to finish this infantry fight. I'll try and move my archers up. We're just out of range. Frustrating. The enemy always starts firing at your infantry from the very edge of their range, like when they're AI controlled. And it can make it frustrating, like, because they'll suicide charge you if you put your missile units in front, but then because they have a tendency to fire from the very edge of their range, it'll leave you outside of range and kind of leave you in this awkward position where you got to make a lot of movement before you can actually put some hurt on their missile infantry. And in the meanwhile, you can see they've already caused me a fair number of casualties here. It's not what we want. I'm going to target this setup right here because it's two slingers kind of blobbed together. That kind of feels like a 2-for-1. Persian light archers ought to cut through these slingers pretty quick. We are shooting into their shielded flank, but the shield on a slinger not going to be great at blocking archer fire. It's not a heavy shield. There we go. Get all of our guys facing forward now where their shields can come to bear. And let's bring our Persian archers forward and finish off the enemy general. I think we'll give him a good old-fashioned flaming. It usually helps break the morale of units. I'm going to switch over to flaming shot. And this Cimmerian noble infantry. It's going to be my artillery ships, I believe. Now, the fire arrows do cause less damage, but the morale impact will be good. You can see it's already having an impact. The reduction in damage, though, is pretty significant, so we're not really getting a ton of damage. I'm just going to let these guys have it. Standard shot. They have good shields because they're a hoplite unit, and of course they're an elite one. There we go. But they're going to be losing hit points, and they should start to fall apart here quickly. Yep, there we can see it. Now they're just losing numbers. So there we got it. A clear and clean victory for our fleet. We're going to take that settlement off of Cimmeria with very little issue. Fortunately for me, Cimmeria's infantry is pretty lackluster, if I remember right. It's really their missiles and cavalry that kind of help make up some of their faction strength, so I think that this will leave us in good shape with this fleet because not many people are going to be able to challenge the infantry. Alright, Cimmeria is destroyed. Excellent. I guess Pontus did some of our work for us. Yeah, Pontus is now expanded into basically all of Cimmeria's land. And a war with them is almost certainly imminent, right? We do have a trade agreement with them, but, I mean, they hate our expansionism, so they're never going to like us. So, I mean, a war with Pontus is absolutely imminent, so that fleet's going to need to stay put. We need to get rid of the rest of the Odrysians, which we have, and it looks like Tylus has some settlements here across Asia Minor and back into the Balkans here. So we've gotten rid of our enemies here for the most part. Let's go ahead and get arms in here. But things are looking good there. I mean, like I said, though, I expect a war with Pontus basically anytime, and that'll be okay because we are about to finish up business with the Saba. So it should leave us in a good position with armies free to march north and no longer really having any big threats down here. It is possible that the Mazgat turn against me. And when I say possible, I mean, I should probably say likely because it probably is likely. I do have a force here in Egypt as well, which is Athena's faithful, or near Egypt, I should say. because we had taken out the secessionist. Speaking of secessionists, let's see who's up on the secessionist docket. I've kind of just finished dealing with them, and apparently it's a good thing that I am finished dealing with them, because now everybody is very loyal, now that they've seen what happens whenever they try to fight me. So, excellent. This is good news. This is what we want. I cannot seek a spouse for him. I think he has enough gravitas. Should now, though. May have to wait till the next turn, though. So we'll figure that one out. I want to make sure that all of the children are married off, so that we can expand our family as much as possible. Doesn't have the gravitas for it. Yeah, the Seleucid dynasty looks to be solidified here. I can't believe Antiochus is still alive after all this time. That's fantastic. Must have been a young king when we got started. Here his army. He needs someone new to fight. All is quiet on the northern front, at least for now, or does he end up, like, do we just go ahead and strike Pontus? Like, instead of letting them attack me, do we just strike them? That would be a little bit early because my other forces aren't free for it. Let's go see what the situation is with Pontus. They don't have any allies. Take a look at Tylus. Again, no allies. So no one's really allied up here. If I'm going to attack Pontus and not take a ton of damage in return, then I need to have some armies headed north. Gerha is not going to be defeated by that army there, and probably not here at Marib either. Maybe. That's a weaker army, and there's not much I can do about that right now. I kind of am thinking about taking this army, heading north, getting some better troops in it, and then getting ready to fight Pontus, and then probably do the same with these troops here. About half wonder, like even Tylus, like if I open up on them right now, they're likely to bounce into some of my settlements. So I'm going to just kind of take it easy on that front for a couple of turns, and keep an eye on folks, and kind of figure out how we want to play that. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and be the aggressor over there, since there's no real political downside to it for me. It does look like we need to end a turn, except for any upgrades that we have, which we do. The Admiral in this fleet, cultural conversion, sure, why not? Mercenary hiring cost. I'm trying to think of stuff that'll still be relevant to a fleet. We'll just do this stuff. And then it's experience for assault ships. Is this the only one that focuses on naval stuff? Oh, we got Navigator. Enables night battles on land and sea. So this one gives more campaign movement range when an admiral, so that could be good. And then maybe we can combine it with the other one. Look at our other upgrade point here. We're going to put an upgrade point into Unrelenting Force. That's all for the upgrade. So let's end our turn and see what we get. I'm going to get to a few more of your comments here. See what you all had to say about... Actually, I could take this army that was headed back to Africa, and I could sail to Asia Minor with it.
From the black.
Carthage wants me to join their war against the Galaci. You know what? I'll do that. Let's be friends, Carthage. Declan Shaw says, regarding CA's marketing, I honestly think it's pretty good, and it's important to note that you don't have to engage with it if you're fed up with stinky demons. However, if you're into it, it's going to keep the game on your mind well into the holiday season and beyond, but most importantly, All that marketing is for the people that are on the fence about getting the game or thinking about getting into it. It's a huge flagship product for CA, and if a blog post manages to convince one person to buy a copy of Warhammer 3, then that blog post is an absolute win. And so it says, as for the rest of us, we can either take time to look at all the marketing or likely spend our time much better watching Air Conquer the World. Appreciate the thoughts, Declan. So there's a bit of a view that's different from my own. Give you all some nice variety there. I'm going to auto-resolve this. This doesn't look like it's worth their time. The DA Win says, good to see this back, brave Seleucids to a man. That's right, they are. And I'm glad you're enjoying the campaign. It is fantastic to have you watch. I'm going to release the cap, just take the money off that. Not that I'm like going to be really hurt for money. Looks like the Saba are entering their death throes here. Jonathan Pup says, Media has a word stress on the E. You usually pronounce it right, Air. However, you would say Median cavalry with the word stress on the I, so maybe more like Median. I think marketing campaigns should start to some degree before the release. However, I also think CA overdid their marketing approach. They should have started a little more modestly. Yeah, it does feel like... Oh, no! Our king died, or got wounded. Most likely died. He's pretty old. So, Antiochus, the great friend of Hannibal, commander brothers, as it were. Invasion force lands from the Odrysians. Did they declare war on me? Oh, no, oh, we already at war with the Odrysians. They were just out on the river. Yeah, Antiochus II is now our leader. Military sabotage. Yeah, so Antiochus dies of natural causes. I was just talking about how long he had been alive, so I guess I jinxed him. Hopefully I shouldn't say anything about my own health then. Let's see here. Well, the Heralds of Thanos can get back to business against... actually, I kind of would like to put Antiochus II into this army. I'll probably work on that. But for now, this will be a very easy auto-resolve here. Let's fast forward that. So that's the end of the Odrysian Kingdom.
Is that all?
Which means no more bothers from them. The Heralds of Thanos back towards the border. This general is not going to have anywhere near the command skill level. These household and like skills are pretty underwhelming sometimes. Like some of them are good, and then others are just extremely underwhelming. Let's see. Let's go with commander here just for fun. Okay, so got those armies in place. We were busy on a Gallic beatdown. I guess our Christmas gift to the Gauls.
For death,
Hey, you better run. I'm gonna kill off this army. Just run them through. Okay. And where's our other targets? Korea. It looks like we're doing some replenishing still here. Carthage has an army out here. Not a good army, but they have an army. Alright, the Arverni still have several settlements across Iberia. Multiple settlements across Iberia, so we're gonna have to push into Iberia to get the Arverni.
ready for battle.
But we need to replenish with these troops. I'll go ahead and start moving to the borders. I have to get military access from Carthage if I don't already have it.
Speak, honored friend of Carthage, and be blessed by Tanith.
Carthage!
We must regretfully decline.
How about you be a satrapy? No, I'm just kidding. Let's. Well, I mean, I actually would be happy to do that, but I know they'll never accept it. Let's get the military access and offer him some cash. How about a mighty gift for Carthage? How come you can't just enter an amount here? CA? Really? How stupid. Like, I'm clicking in it and I can't just enter an amount. Oh, wow. Alright, whatever. Let's just give Carthage some money, get our military access so we can march through. Can't believe they actually like me, even with all the expansion. But they really liked my military actions against Rome, and of course me being nice to them, which is in and of itself enough to overcome the expansionism. They apparently appreciated what I did to the Odrysians. They had no love for them, or Chimeria. So they seem to be pretty happy with some of the wars that I've made. When that stuff wears off, it could get bad. We'll see. Alright, next. This army that was marching to Africa. I don't think it's going to be needed in Africa. In fact, we should probably force march. I'm going to head over towards Rhodes. Get in place to either defend against Pontus or punch Tylus in the face. And then we need to do the same thing. This army is fine. We are busy chasing what's left of the Saba, so we're going to have to push the Saba into destroying themselves. They have a couple of very small forces left. See, this Watcher's on the water. That is an enemy fleet headed towards Charax. Charax has defense enough probably to hold off a fleet. And we know Gerha does. So, we should be able to force march this army up towards Pontic territory. And that leaves me set with them. Let's go check our...
How can I be of assistance?
Keep getting info on the Gauls. Looks like Carthage has forces in the vicinity there, so I'm just going to keep gathering info on the Gauls.
What do you wish of me?
I'm going to push further. It's taking me forever with that agent, but Herald to Triton need to stay put for now.
Yes.
This fleet can stay put for now. Actually, we don't have any threats to this port at the moment. We should bring this fleet and take Ars. The infamous settlement of Ars. Okay, so I'm gonna real quickly. Alright, here we go. Now, Venus Faithful. I have no need to really keep an army in Egypt at the moment. There's no threats. And there's no threat of rebellion either. So I feel like this one should be moved to the other northern fronts here as well. This is Antiochus the... No, this is not Antiochus II. Let's see, which army is he in? Let's go to our... characters. We can just find him here. Antiochus II is our leader. There's an option to zoom to them. We can't... promotions, but... got a lot of gravitas. With the death of our king, though, no big effects to the political system here, so that's good. There was a way to zoom to them where they were at. Our Carpathium, he's at sea then. I think he's at sea. Is he a fleet commander right now? If so, I want to swap him. No, he's not a fleet commander. Well, let's find him. Yeah, he's here. So he is at sea. I just missed him here. He's in Athena's
Your
Faithful.
orders?
We need to upgrade the troops for him, at the very least. We could do that in Athens. So let's have him make for Athens.
Ships to port.
Okay. Got quite a lot of money. Take a look at some buildings, because although we can recruit right now, I don't really have a specific need to. Gonna finish building up some stuff in Italia here. Parthia. A lot of this has been a long time in the waiting. Longer need this temple. I'll swap that over to offset some of the food costs from doing all these other building upgrades. Okay, so spent our money. Think we have anybody else to move at the moment? They're kind of just standing on the border. Hannibal's Revenge is guarding the northern front at the moment.
Commander?
And we actually did start recruiting a new army. They're right here. We'll finish them up coming soon. I forgot that we had started that one. Let's get to some more of your comments here. See what you all had to say. Love reading the comments. Let's see here. So, Sergeant Buckwheat says, I'm surprised this game still sees players. Good to know people are enjoying it. I do still enjoy it. It's got a lot of issues. It's old. Some things I don't love, but you know what? It's still a fun game, and I have a good time with it. Alright, well, the Arverni have a lot of forces here, more than I would have thought, and they're moving my way. Oh well, time for a fight. Jason Kunkel says, hope this comment helps, Air. I've been watching your channel pretty much since you started uploading Rome videos. I'm not a fan of Warhammer games, but your videos are starting to turn me. Thanks for all the content. Hope you and your entire family are doing well. I am doing well. Thanks for asking, and thanks for being a viewer for so long. Dermentia says this campaign's super fun to watch. Hoping you end up getting a foothold in England by the end. We might. We certainly might. Al the Molfar, thanks for being a channel member for so long. He's got that gold shield. It says, thanks for the video. I think CA is overhyping. If for some reason the release needs to be delayed again, they lose a lot. Plus, all this info is mostly known by now, even by non-Warhammer tabletop funds, or maybe learned from various sources if needed. In general, less lore, more gameplay, since it's Total War, which is being sold. Lore is selling by Games Workshop. I don't disagree there either. I tend to agree with that. Okay, well, Tylus declared the war for us. I don't need to call my allies to help, though. We'll take care of it. Media is forced to join me, though, because they're satrapy, I think. But in any case, yeah, I think sometimes the more is less is the way to go as well. Holy cow. Most of this army doesn't scare me a lot, but tribal warriors are pretty highly armored. And Royal Peltist are not the best at beating back armor. It does give us a lot of archers, though, and I don't want to lose my fleet here. So we are going to have to fight this. I mean, if we use our archers well, we should be able to win. Spear warriors will do absolutely terrible versus Royal Peltist, but Gallo Thracian infantry, tribal warriors, all these guys are going to do some damage in melee. They're all going to do some damage. We can maybe brunt their charges with the kind of beat up garrison units, and then bring our navy to bear. Choke points hopefully would work to my favor as well, but maybe not.
At your service.
See, we can kind of like, for instance, we can, it won't be super impressive, but we can kind of go ahead and create a bottleneck here. Apologies for the voice, by the way, too. Had a lot of sinus stuff going on recently and still trying to get it completely dealt with. Back over to our fleet. I'm gonna need... I know I can put 2, maybe 3 ships here to quickly unload. And then... rest of these, let's go unload. Either be here or over here. I don't know exactly where we can land them.
Support ships ready and waiting.
Might be able to just unload everybody there, depending on what happens. And then artillery ships. Not going to be in a great position to support in this battle, but they can at least cover this approach. I'll leave them there and kind of leave them pointed in the right direction. Yeah, kind of like that. Start the battle. I'm going to go ahead and slow-mo it while I figure out the ship thing. Yeah, I can get 3 ships at a time there, so that's good. And we can't land except for way off over here. So that's kind of stupid. So we're going to be landing 3 ships at a time. I'm going to land a few Royal Peltists. And I'm going to land a few Persian archers. So that I can vary it up a little. Alright, let's hit play and see where all they're going to attack me from. Probably multiple sides. We need the Royal Peltist support quickly. It's a good thing we're unloading them early. In fact, we're going to have a difficult time even just getting there on time.
Ready. Quick march.
Orders, my lord.
These are pikemen.
At your service.
Oh, they are. Alright, there we go.
Flank phalanx.
Oh, whoops, I moved the wrong unit over here.
By your command. As you command.
We're about to get attacked by mercenary citizen cavalry. Let's go break their charge up with a mob. See if we can get a bunch of...
Orders, my lord.
We await your command. Orders.
Form square formation.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and chart. Yeah, we ruined their charge with the mob and then got our javelins off. That has given my Royal Peltist enough time to get off the boats. And I'm gonna let those ships get out of the way, and we're gonna bring up the next support ships. That worked out pretty good for us right here, honestly. Let's bring the next mob up, see if we can help with that too. I do have Royal Peltist inbound. This one took a stupid pathfinding error. That gummit.
Support ships ready.
Just cut me a freaking break here. Alright. All I need to do is just kind of hold for a minute in front, and I think we can for long enough. Because I've got Royal Peltist very nearby.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
It's alright, well done. You all are holding beautifully for such a depleted force there. Get the next group lined up, and then the next group
An entire unit has
behind
perished.
them is already ready. Okay, yep. It's okay, it's just a mob unit, so nothing we're terribly concerned about yet.
Quick march. Your orders. Royal Peltasts. Melee troops awaiting orders. We await
Need to spread out with the Royal Peltist, and I'm gonna bring them up and let them chuck their javelins in here.
Our men flee the field of battle.
They have a mercenary Eastern javelin. Oh crap, they've got a Celtic slinger over here getting after me too.
quick march. And the double. What are your orders? Melee infantry at your command. Yours to command.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Alright, it's time to engage.
Forward, commander.
And my archers are ashore.
General.
Next group.
Persian archers.
Start running these guys through here. Get my archers into support position. So I've got Royal Peltist into the fray.
Await your command.
We are outnumbered. My artillery ships are firing. They're not likely to cause
Artillery ships
a lot of damage.
Our missiles await your orders.
Next group up here.
What are
These
your
archers could help me a whole bunch here, though, potentially. How are my Royal Peltists doing? They're already taking quite a bit of damage. Got a Eastern Javelinman coming up on our flank over here. We're gonna need to kill that with our archers in a big hurry, because that thing's about to ruin our day.
ready and waiting? Royal Peltasts.
Use the whip here. This unit's moving around for some stupid reason. It's gonna get itself killed.
This is a shameful display.
And I'm losing pikemen quickly over here, so this is bad news. Let's try and kill the enemy general.
Royal Peltasts.
Got 3 more Royal Peltists coming in.
Power ready.
This is where Royal Peltists are going to underperform
For orders.
versus other similar units. They are getting a lot of kills, but they're outnumbered, and their lack of defensive capability here is going to show, and it's going to hurt.
Our oars are set. Get moving. Royal Peltasts. Melee troops awaiting orders. General. Yes, Commander.
We need lots of Royal Peltists, and we need them fast.
Royal Peltasts.
We are in a behemoth of a fight here. I was trying to really lay into the enemy Oathsworn general, and it's just not doing the damage that I would like. Getting some kills, though, and my artillery is targeting into this blob as well, so any hits they get should be good. We gotta hurry and get up here. We're about to lose.
At the double.
Our general is under attack.
Engage. Yours to command. Melee infantry. Ready for order. Ready.
Problem is like these tribal warriors and stuff have pretty good...
Royal Peltasts.
How did my Royal Peltists come out of the fight there? Gotta attack these tribal warriors. Alright, I've thrown everything in there that I can at the moment. We got rid of those javelins. Now the archers. I'm gonna run back around here with the archers, try and get in behind these guys and chop them up. I mean, we are getting a ton of kills out of our Royal Peltist, but they're just so limited in number. Let's inspire some troops here. I'm worried that the shield wall formation, although it gives me some melee defense, will just make my units glitchy. Got a good opportunity to turn this fight around, though, right here. If I can get these archers over here and lined up, I can start shooting these guys in the back. So as long as my Royal Peltist can hold for a bit longer, we should be in okay shape.
Men of Persia.
We'd like to not lose any units here too, but we could get to relatively nearby to replenish our fleet. I'm going to start unloading into the back of this enemy Oathsworn general. Prioritize the general. More archers coming in. Pull these slingers back a little. Whew, come on, Royal Peltist, you can do it. I believe in you. That's why I'm whipping you. I whip you because I believe.
Men of Persia.
This has got to be causing some significant damage there with my archers now in behind these troops. I'm going to start raining death into this fight because that is where we are hurting the most. That Royal Peltist unit is about to give way. It's down to 25. Alright, the Oathsworn general routed. Somehow the general did not die, though, unfortunately. I'm going to send one of these Royal Peltist units over here to relieve this other one. I don't know if it'll save any of them. It'd be great if it would. I'd also like to not lose our general.
This is a shameful display.
Find your target. Royal Peltasts.
Right, we had that unit route, but hopefully it will live. We've only got a little bit left. I need my ships to stop shooting. They're just cause friendly damage at this point. How did they do? 70, 63. Yeah, they made a difference. They made a significant difference.
Men of Persia.
Just about killed my general with them there.
Advance at speed.
All right. Well, our combined arms fleet got the job done here. An impressive performance by the Royal Peltist against some, honestly, very tough infantry. That Tylusian infantry was no joke. Tribal warriors don't have the best attack, but they are very high armor, solid defense, and they come with a good charge. So they are definitely a tough match, and the kills on a Royal Peltist were impressive there. I don't believe we've lost any units. Could be wrong. Nope, we did not. Take the cash there. We're going to need some reinforcements, and I have an army nearby to reinforce them, fortunately. Alright, Tylus is already operating in Asia Minor, Anatolia, whatever we call it here. We're gonna have to auto-resolve, but we have ships on the way. I was going to refit an army, but we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna sail up here and meet them. So Tylus jumped the gun on me a little bit, which is fine. I mean, I was gonna kill them, so all's fair. Love and war, right? I don't expect Tylus is gonna last long in this fight. This is a suicidal effort for them. Media already has troops in the vicinity. Looks like they are moving towards the last Sabine fleet as well. Go with thriving trade. Darn it. Child died. Protection expired from civil war, but that's okay. We shouldn't be at any significant risk of civil war. Now, if Pontus dumped on us all at the same time here, things could get pretty interesting, and that may very well happen. May very well happen. I'm gonna move the Heralds of Thanos to attack
At your command.
this settlement, and I know that some of you aren't gonna understand this move, and that's fine. I'm gonna move this army here, just protect our fleet. We can't afford to have another attack from Tylus here, and I may not see something they have coming, so we'll wait a turn to get to this. Maybe under siege. But maybe not, I can't tell. Let's be the way that's animated here. I'm gonna drop out of a forced row because we don't want to get caught. I do have a fleet and I have no cover over here. I need a fleet to help cover the approach of my troops. Some Rhodian rebels, that fleet could cause me some big time issues. I want to sail through open water there either. I guess I'm going to go ahead and make this longer. Journey this way. This fleet is still a ways off too. We have an army moving overland, but they have quite the march in front of them as well. Alright, well, we have armies to respond. We're just slightly out of position. Alright, so some more smaller factions destroyed. So it's just going to take us a little time to get there. And then we should be okay. Like, there really shouldn't be. Right, let's take a look at the Arverni. The Arverni had a force that I saw, and now I don't see. It may have moved into this region. Let's go up here and block this bridge. Defenders of Olympus. Still no eyes on Arverni. And since the Arverni are moving my way, there's no need to go through Carthage's lands. Just move here and block all avenues for the Arverni. If they come through the Pyrenees here, I want to block their avenues of approach. So we should be able to push in and push them back now. I'm going to keep Hannibal handy back here. Or Hannibal's Revenge, I should say. And then I do think it's relevant for us to go ahead and train up another army. Things are likely about to get even spicier. So I'm going to keep recruiting Silver Shield Swordsmen. Silver Shields are kind of just the heavier elite sword. They have better weapon damage, albeit lower attack, but they have better survivability as well.
Come, fight with us.
And we're going to get plenty infantry and stuff in here. There we go. Syrian heavies are going to cause a lot of damage. I'm going to get a bunch of Syrian heavies. They do a ton of damage. Alright, so let's do that recruiting for this turn. We're just going to start working our way down this list. I'm going to swap 61. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm going to swap this over to Temple Poseidon because it just hands us some extra food. Let's go ahead and run some upgrades here. So I'm just going to start working my way through these. We don't need as much public order here now anymore, so I'm going to swap some of these. Libya. Same story here. Let's swap that over. Alright, so gotten some buildings going. Income's looking good. Let's end our battle. I'm going to need more fleets, so I might as well go ahead and recruit one of those because it's required. Like, there's a certain number of naval units required to hit the victory conditions. It's actually probably one of the only things keeping me from the victory conditions at the moment. Arverni moving even more troops towards me, one back. But they've moved several forward, so I would expect we've got at least 2.5 stacks of Arverni near our territory. Arib is under siege, but that's a very small force, and I don't expect that it's going to be any problem to beat back. And that Saba fleet is going to sail around somewhere else. Very small. This is Marib, so they're going to go ahead and attack here. Doesn't really matter how we slice that. We're going to win. So that is good. Got them taken care of. Acilia is back with kind of a beat-up force. Are they going to hit us on this turn as well? We don't know. They are, and they are going to lose. Auto-resolve this. Hopefully that'll be the end of their faction. They may have just had that, like, transport ships out to sea or something. The AI does that sometimes.
The spirits tell us that we should offer you gold.
You know what? The spirits should have told you that before you declared war, so have fun. Enjoy what little life you have left. And, yeah, and like I said, enjoy it. More tribal warriors, so some decently tough armies that they're throwing at us here. As soon as I arrive, Tylus will not be feeling so good about things. They will, in fact, be feeling rather remorseful, I think, for their decision. Let me get to one more comment here. Conquer Tunes says, Conquer Tunes. The thing you called your final redoubt the Alamo, they lost. Perhaps your troops would find Rourke's Drift more heartening. Yeah, I guess they did lose at the Alamo, but I don't know. That's where I was going with it. It's like our last stand, right, if needed. Kay says, I don't play Warhammer, only historicals, but I'd rather have the budget for all the marketing go towards making the best game possible, regardless of what kind of game it is. A Total War title that is considered by the community to be really good is going to sell regardless of how it's marketed. I mean, you'll probably have a very hard time ever convincing a company of that, but I don't necessarily disagree. Oh, wait, we had slums? I made slums, folks. Whoops. See if I can remember to actually fix that next turn. Alright, we are replenished and ready to move forward. Let's step in and see what we got here. A rather large army. Vertigala?
At your command. On the move.
Let's go ahead and lay siege here.
Besieging the settlement.
That is a lot of chosen swordsmen. Holy smackerel. And there's even more. There's going to be at least one Oathsworn. We've got... Fortunately, they picked a chosen spear general there, which is a mistake. Oathsworn are just better. I'm going to get some siege equipment ready, but I'm not going to actually break the siege. I'm going to bring in this army, act as reinforcements, but hopefully I can still keep an eye right here. I can't guard it all the way, but...
Get the stakes up!
Alright. Fortify there. So, let's see... Cilia was dealt with. We are dealing with Tylus. My fleet is replenished enough that it should be safe. The Heralds of Thanos can now get in here and deal with this settlement. Which looks like an auto-resolve affair here. So Tylus will no longer have a presence here in the Balkans. Wow, I really did a number on my elephants there. CA, please. Raise this settlement. And let's get a temple started. Military. Couple military, actually. Here. Some upgrades there with some of our cash. That means this army is ready to head to Nicomedia, so we can start pushing back against Tylus's assault here.
None will escape. We take this settlement.
I don't know why the auto-resolve is taking us this way. Maybe just because we have thorax swords. 8 turns they surrender. That's a long time they can hold out.
Laying siege to the
Usually they don't hold out that long. Unless that's some kind of faction thing.
It is an honor to serve. Moving out.
Here.
Your orders. Put your backs into it, you men.
Alright, so I've got armies headed in the right direction.
At your command.
This army's going to be able to make a huge move here. We must have really good roads through there. We're only a couple turns away at being able to fully subdue Tylus. Saba took their shot, and of course it failed. No big surprise there. Start marching back up here. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. It was a good episode. We got plenty done. We've got a new war here with Tylus, which looks like we'll be in a good position to settle rather quickly. This fleet will be healed up in a couple of turns and ready to continue on as well. So that should be good. This army is forming up nicely. Let's go ahead and put some more troops into it. We'll want some... We're waiting on our royal stables, unfortunately.
We hunger for battle.
But we can fit some more infantry, and I only need 4 slots for cavalry, probably. So that means I have 4 more slots we can fill up with other units, and I'm thinking a couple Royal Peltists and a couple of Shield Bearers. Just to give a little bit of differentiation and flexibility to this army. Or, sorry, I was counting wrong. Let's do 1 of each. Yeah, we'll just do 1 of each, then leave those cavalry slots open. That army will be ready. Alright, anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage is signing out for now. I will see you soon with some more action in Total War.